productive in terms that I became much more closer to my team,
Good.
and that I've been reading a lot, and I've been so focused, and I feel that I have, for the first time, I have the feeling that I'm here in Buenos Aires, that I'm not elsewhere,
Yes.
that I'm not, traveling, at the beginning of the year, I was in Los Angeles, then I was in New York, then I went twice to Mexico, and then I was supposed to go to Berlin, and I'm here now. And I said, well, this is a reality check. I have to be here, and this is very important to understand where I am. I'm not a tourist. I have to develop, a real relationship to the city. And I'm starting to have like very important conversations with people here, with intellectuals, with people I care for. I've been writing for the newspaper.
Wow.
I wrote 2 articles now, and I'm developing a relationship to the city. I mean, being here, being trapped in the quarantine. But it's not I don't see it as a trap. I see it as something that it's showing me the way to really relate to the others, So it's been very productive. Of course, it has another side, which is complicated in terms of the personal. But I think I think I'm starting to understand Argentina. I used to live in a cacophony. Now I'm listening, and listening to the sound of the birds. I'm seeing and listening to my colleagues. Very much attuned with the otherness, and I think it's very important to listen. And it's very important to listen. You have to humble down and to listen to people, but also to build a team. Really, it's very important.
I think
I'm not saying this in a populist manner. I'm saying this in a very candid and sincere.
It's interesting because, what was it? So in March, I was going to Italy, then I was going to Vancouver, then I was supposed to go to Dubai, and then after I was supposed to go to SP Art in Sao Paulo. And then I think I was debating whether I was going to go to Lisbon for Arco. And now I'm like here. And I would say that, I speak more to my team. I mean, I've always spoken to my team, but now that everybody's at home and everybody's working, it's so interesting how, like writing a contract, everybody puts their 2 cents in it, and then we all review it together. And I find that we have managed to create a much more cohesion in the teams in terms of getting the job done, because we don't see each other, we actually need to exchange much more. And so I think work is being done in a super efficient way, I must say.
We have protocols for the reopening of the museum that we produced a month ago. I've been promoting internal meetings with epidemiologists. Also, we have a plan A, B, C, of course. We change programmatic content. We have to realize how the economic impact is going to be for next year. Next year is our 20th anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very important, that 20th anniversary, because the museum was born also in a crisis. The museum was born with the Corralito. So this is, I said to the founder, to Mr. Constantini, wow, the museum was born in the Corralito, and the museum will survive the pandemic.
Like this notion of going outside of our comfort zone and going to a different country with different, different history, different landscape. But then again, you realize how we're so connected. And that's how I met Claudia, just from an evening at the Ambassador of Canada's home. And then next thing you know, she also lives in Toronto. And then, this is the beauty of our field, you meet so many people. And you realize how we're all so connected. And, you know, like it's
It's a
really,
connective tissue, yes. Art is a connective tissue.
and it was great to visit your museum when I went, you know, and the other institution, and see the richness of the collection, and then also start understanding the fracture of the society, or the history, and the different communities that are part of Argentina and its history. One thing I must say I was really impressed about Argentina is that, you know, because of the different traumas, you actually tell the story and unearth it continuously. Like the disappeared is not something that is hidden away, like we don't talk about it. It's like in your face, and people talk about it, and you still see the research being done, and it's just like, oh my God, you know.
No, I think human rights here are quite important, and not only that, I think there is a very civic reaction toward that kind of history. I think people are very aware, and this is one of the few countries where that process that never happened in Spain, for example.
Exactly.
Rarely happened in Spain, and in Chile, you see what's happening. It's the repression of that process.
Yeah.
Whereas in Argentina, there was a discussion, a public discussion, and there were legal consequences for that. So it's really,
it takes a lot of courage to do this. It really does.
very much.
And I feel for myself, you know, even as a tourist, art tourist that came for, I don't know, 7 to 10 days, I left knowing more about that. And because it was something that was talked to me from different angles, you know, the different people we met, everybody would refer to that period, you know, from a different point of view, but would say, oh,
Did you see El Museo de la Memoria, which is a park?
yes, we went there. Yeah.
The museum is really amazing. It's pretty powerful, and I was very touched and moved. I went with my partner, who is a specialist in transitional law, precisely in human rights. And what I thought when I went there, which is, it's powerful, you know, the commissions are very powerful. I thought, well, this is provided by the same state that repressed these people and disappeared the people.
I know.
Yes, it is.
It's really interesting, you know, to see how you can try to repair, but the reparation is not quite achieved, you know. And you see that contradiction, and that's what brings, you know, that history to the museum. It's really interesting to go there and see the collision between the state that repressed and disappeared, and people who were you know, affected by this situation.
Yeah, I remember there was one work where it was in the water, and the person explained.
Oh, Claudia Fontes, yes, the sculpture.
When they explained why that sculpture, we were all like,
Shocked.
okay, no word. We're not say. You can't say anything. You know, you just brought me back to that place. First of all, it was a beautiful day when we went, but the emotion from it, it's still, see, that's the power of art. A good art, you just mentioned it, and now it's back. Like I remember vividly how we were all silent. It was so nice to talk to you, you know. I think that I saw in my little note that I had sent to Claudia, I did see your beautiful show at the Americas Society that you had done, oh my God, with
Lidia Cabrera.
and Lidia Cabrera.
Trembling Thinking.
Yes, I had gone to see that. That was
I love it. It's, you know, that was my farewell to the American Society, because
such a beautiful exhibition. And I remember going with my daughter, and she's like, we're not going to spend an hour here, because you know, she's 13. She's like, yeah, this is one room. I'm like, sorry, we are spending the time. And congratulations, that was an amazing exhibition. And I still kept the little publication that you made also.
I have to give you the book of Lidia Cabrera. Do you have the book?
No, I don't have the book. No, no.
I will send it to you. I have it. I have some copies in New York, so I will send it to you.
Okay, but that was it was so nice to be in your space and to feel your presence and your thought in that space. So I'm sure you're going to do great things in Argentina, because that's the type of person you are.
Thank you so much, but you're much more complex, as I said, you know, everybody from the world. And I hope that we can do something together.
Oh, yes. By all means,
Hopefully.
you know, I'm always, I'm interested in so many questions. And the beauty in Toronto is that there's so many, you know, the world is in Toronto. So there's a whole Argentinian community. There's the world. So there's so many connecting subject matter that we can exchange, things that could make sense in Buenos Aires that will definitely make sense in Toronto. So the world is our oysters. We just need to put our thinking caps and have more conversations together.